we starting this. Okay, welcome to the Storm, NYC. Peace to everybody that's here. Thanks for everybody for coming today. We got two special guests. I don't know how to say it. I'm gonna start off with my special guest co-host today. Right? My special guest co-host. I was talking to him before the show. I said, yo, how many projects you done? Like 50? I'm like undercutting my man. It's like, nah, it's like 75, 76. The great actor, everybody's favorite actor. Remember that? My man, Hassan Johnson. What's up, my man?
So what's up now? What's going on, party people?
You know, you home. This is home, so be whatever. But we have our special guest today. I met him about 2 months ago at a Syracuse basketball practice in Brooklyn. I came in the gym. I was like, and the first person I saw was this guy. I was like, is that this guy at this practice? What is he doing here? And like right away, like, you know, as he came closer, I had to like say something to him right away. This guy's I don't know how to put it, but I'm gonna say a distinguished, highly spectacular music executive. We're gonna get into it, but his career, his contributions mean so much to me. It touches the soul. Everybody, the great Steve Rifkind. What's going on?
What's up?
I can't believe he's here. I guess I get the first question off, Haas.
Yeah, go ahead.
So with Steve. So Steve, there's so many things we could talk about. This is also not only it's a dope show, it's like an educational show in all facets: culture, music, business, and everything. So what I wanted to know, the first question I want to ask you, do you remember, or can you talk about the era before hip hop was introduced to you as far as your musical knowledge and, experience? What was that like? Take us to a time where it was no hip hop at this time and all the artists or all the business structures, because it's like a 3-4 part question that influenced you to the guy you became.
So before hip hop, there was really disco.
Right.
And hip hop came from disco. So like my dad put out the first hip hop record with a group called the Fatback Band, King Tim III. But the first big hit record was Sugar Hill Gang. And that came from Chic, which was a #1 disco record.
Yeah.
So every record pretty much from 1979 to the early 80s was all a disco break record.
Unbelievable.
So
in IE, you get the Disco 3, aka the Fat
Boys. So, and I put them in. It's funny. I was doing a soundtrack to a movie, and it's funny that you said that. Curtis Blow brings them up to the office, and they're doing The Worm, and they were called the Disco 3. So we put Kurt, and the name of the movie was called Nights of the City. We put them in the movie. We send them down to Florida. Curtis and the three of them. I don't know if you remember an actor by the name of Stoney Jackson.
I heard of his name, for sure.
So Stoney he wasn't a comedian, but he was one of the funniest guys I ever met in my life. And he said, you guys got to change your name from the Disco 3 to the Fat Boys.
Straight up.
Right? And then,
Work.
him and Curtis became extremely close. And however it officially became the Fat Boys, it became the Fat Boys. But if you look at the movie, they did a scene called We're in Jail. And then they had a record called We're in Jail, which became a monster record.
Unbelievable. And
Classics. One of my favorites. Fat Boys, come on.
Yeah.
And I remember, being from New York and being from the city, in 1977 it was a blackout. I don't know if you remember that.
Of course.
You remember here now?
I just got here in 77.
Yeah. So I
came on the blackout.
So it was a blackout. It was a blackout, right? And I didn't know anything about hip hop before that. But I just remember that after the blackout, there was just a lot of block parties because it seemed like everybody had equipment.
Yep.
And I couldn't understand.
We plug it into the light pole.
This new music is coming out, and it's like, I'm 6-7 years old, and I'm in Harlem, and everybody got some equipment, and everybody's playing music, and it was just like all raw, and you just had raw MCs coming to rock the party, and it was just like, to me, it was just like, I couldn't believe it, because back in our household, it was all like all the classic artists, Earth, Wind & Fires, the Sam Cooke, Otis Reddings, the OJs, the Temptations, all the greats. At family gatherings, they would just play we get to my grandmother's house about 1 o'clock, and it was just music
all day.
just everything. So
old English.
that's all it was before that.
You know, some old gold.
Yeah.
And some R&B, man.
But that blackout happened.
Jackson.
It was block parties, everything. It was just new music that I just couldn't understand. It was, I don't know. I was just gravitated to it, and it just you hear it, and you just want to move, and it was like, fresh, at that time, right?
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know.
And it was during the summer. I remember sleeping in my pool that night.
You were sleeping in the pool
15
during the
minute
summer
rap.
blackout.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And I just don't. It just like since that point, it was just like I don't know.
So what? How did you graduate to where, or did you even see yourself being this instrumental in music altogether? Forget hip hop. Like
Nah,
just
I mean, so I was majorly dyslexic. I didn't know how to read until I was 15 years old.
that is crazy.
So I thought,
your shit.
so I thought I was gonna be a ball player. I just never grew.
Thought you just be a jock.
Not even a jock. I really thought I was gonna go to North Carolina,
Yeah.
and I thought I was gonna end up in the NBA, and I thought I was gonna grow,
Yeah.
and I just never grew.
Yeah.
I love that story, man. But being a former basketball player, I love that story. And I coach varsity basketball right now, and I tell my kids like, at that early age, you gotta have a dream. I don't care if you playing it, you gotta dream because that's the only way you're gonna get better. And if you don't dream, or I just think you gotta have some type of dream of like what you want.
That's a fact. You got to see yourself there already. Whatever it is, you got to just see yourself there and it'll happen. Now, see, for us, I think that was my same dilemma. I didn't have height. We all thought we were going to be hoopers. The height, that's what stumped me. So, like, if you just wasn't tall enough, it wasn't going to happen for you.
I was 6'4"
Yeah.
at 12 years old.
You too tall to act small. You too tall to act small. You couldn't do it.
But it's crazy. So, at that age, before hip hop in the household, like, what was some of the stuff that was getting played, and what was the experiences you were getting?
So
Before.
So as a kid, like my family owned a label called Spring Records. So they had
Records.
Millie Jackson, Joe Simon, Fatback Band, James Brown. So those were that was the only thing I listened to. As I grew up in a white area, right? So as all my friends are listening to Led Zeppelin, whatever the rock shit was.
Yeah.
I had no idea what any of that was.
Wow.
I had to listen to whatever my dad played. So, because I was so dyslexic, they didn't know what dyslexia was then. So they sent me to juvie.
Yeah, nobody knew what it was back then.
Right? So they sent me to juvie. So I was on the short bus. And then when they realized that, ended up having a fight there, got stabbed. I was with my brother.
Wow.
And my mom was only this big, like saw the whole thing and like took the car and went chasing.
Oh, she didn't care.
Yeah. So
She was chasing somebody down.
she took me out of, like, she thought she was sending, like, not that I was getting in trouble, but not juvie trouble, right? So where I went back to school where all my friends went to.
Right.
So, but I couldn't get on the bus, so my dad would have to take me to school in the morning before he went to work.
The drop off.
So there was it must have been 12, so 1974. He had the biggest record of the year that year. The artist was Millie Jackson,
Millie Jackson.
and the record was
Yes.
called "If Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right," which was a remake.
Wrong. I don't want to be right.
Which she didn't win the Grammy, but she was up for the Grammy. So BLS was the station. So it would be a 20-minute ride to the school, and I would listen to these records, and that was just so at the house, and like, so I didn't even know what the rock world or the pop world even sounded like.
It's unbelievable, Steve, and especially Haas knowing what happened,
What
and just
transpired.
because this is important to me to see somebody like this, like what was going on before, because
I mean, it's special for me because my hometown, all right, you see it right there.
you know
what I'm saying?
I'll play.
So how were you, because if I probably heard the story, I done forgot it by now, but how were you introduced to the Wu? Like we might be skipping some.
Well, we're skipping a lot.
That's an important topic for this conversation. You're gonna get to ask that, but I guess more importantly, like how were you introduced? When were you introduced to hip hop and how that came?
So my family put out the first hip hop record.
Right.
Was that
a Fatback Band, King Tim III. Sugar Hill came out maybe 2 months later. Sugar Hill was a much bigger record, but I was like, and I remember I was in the car, I was smoking a joint, and I hear this record, and I walk into the house, I was like, Dad, I heard some Riddle record, like Fatback. I didn't know what it was. I don't know what it was called.
Like
I said
it wasn't even rap yet, right?
I didn't know what it was. I called it Riddle, and I was like, this might be my favorite record. That he was, he wasn't taking me serious. So I mean, I was 17. It was the fall of 1979. So, but that's how I got into it. Then Sugar Hill came out, right? Then Curtis came out, and then
KMC.
I need a time.
Run DMC came a few years later.
It was 84, right? Like
I need a timestamp the Sugar Hill game because when I was probably like 8 or 9 when that record hit my ears. It was like no other.
It was still the fall of '79.
Yeah. I was probably 7, right? It was nothing. I mean, I'm only 7, but it was like
it was a Chic sample with Nile Rodgers produced it, and it was.
When it hit my eardrums, it was like life has never been the same since. Like
it's a fact.
Life is certainly different. You got the block parties, that was great and all that. But now you hear this thing on a record, on the radio.
It was new. It was super new.
And it was like
fresh.
It put color.
But it also, and it really was a sample, right? So, that Chic record was one. I mean,
we didn't know that it was a sample, right?
There was no sound similar. There was no samples, but that Chic record was a #1 record. So that's what I'm saying. Hip hop literally came. There were discotheques, right, or discos, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, and those records ended up being hip hop records.
Yep.
Well, see, that's why back in the day, and especially KRS One of them used to always rap about how people or the music industry wasn't trying to respect rap because it wasn't original.
Right.
They were saying it's not original because of all of the samples.
I remember hearing all that talk.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, but
they were wrong because the originality was Scott LaRock was my intern.
okay, see? Here
So-
we go. Now we talking.
So Scott brought Chris's notebook,
DJ Scott LaRock, everybody from the Bronx.
Boogie Down Productions.
right? He brought Chris's book, and he goes, "You got to look at these guys' rhymes." So I really don't remember what years. I must have been
demo,
20,
like,
23,
yeah,
24.
Way early 80s.
Yeah. And I was like, Scott, I need to hear
Yeah,
music.
see, there you go.
I
gotta hear this.
Like, but that's, so the originality of, forget about the music, but
Right.
just lyrically, I mean, between Scott, Rakim, like
Big Daddy.
Big Dad, they were brain surgeons.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what anybody.
Yeah.
It was painting color
my
into our lot. Our lot. It was painting color because being a young kid at that time, all these artists start to come out, and it's like painting color to life.
They were all different.
And they was educating us
Yes.
at the same
Yeah.
time.
You just said Big Daddy. I mean, if you look at Big Daddy's tree, I'm not going to say family tree,
Right.
but what spinned off of Big Daddy? Big.
Yes.
What spinned off of Big? J. That's all influenced
Yep. Yep.
by Big Daddy.
Yep. Single-handedly.
Yeah,
He had the style, the flow. It was already pre-packaged.
Shit, you remember he did that Playboy magazine with Madonna and Naomi?
Remember that?
You know what I get a kick out of? From the beginning, the origins, to where we are now, off of just the style and the fashion alone. Meaning, because I used to listen, I'm the kid that I bought the cassettes and I unraveled the artwork and read the credits, right?
Lost.
So who were the dudes at Cold Chillin' Record?
It was Fly.
Shabazz?
No, the owners?
No, the A&Rs.
Shit, no, it was Marley Marl and Magic.
It was Marley Marl.
And Fly Tie. And then there was Lenny ran the business. I did a record with Magic through Spider D. I don't know if you remember the record Smurfy's Dance.
Okay.
So Spider introduces me to Magic. And I signed Magic, and Magic was at HBI, and then he went over to BLS.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, Mr. Magic.
Mr. Magic,
Yeah,
right? So we do a record called Magic's Message. At that time, UTFO Roxanne is starting to break.
There you
It's
go.
another record.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like a artwork,
Right.
painting of a masterpiece.
So it's Christmas time. I'm in California. I'm hanging out with Stoney Jackson. I mentioned Stoney.
Yep.
And I call Magic to wish him Merry Christmas. He goes, man, I've been trying to reach you. Don't forget, there are no cell phones. There's nothing.
Yeah,
like,
none of
right?
that, yeah.
And nobody gave house phone numbers out. And right?
You get the land.
Right. So I call, he goes, I got a record that's blowing the fuck up. Like, we're doing 15,000 a day. It was Roxanne Shante.
Spins?
15,000. They were selling 15,000 singles.
Singles, wow.
A day.
Units.
Because I don't know if you remember how when Roxanne Shante came out,
that was the real
it was like a
Roxanne.
nuclear bomb
Yeah.
that dropped.
No, I
So,
remember now.
so I said, I don't know where my dad is. Let me try and track him down. So I call the house in Long Island. Nobody's answering the phone. So they're out of town. So I didn't even realize they were in San Diego as I'm in LA.
Right on the
So
block.
finally I get in touch with him, and I said, Dad, Magic has another record that's exploding, this, that, or whatever. He goes, what do you mean exploding? I said, they're saying it's doing 10, 15,000 a day. They can't even really call the distributors at those days because everybody was closed for the holidays. He goes, you know what? We're going to have to pass on it. I said, are you sure? And I was like, Madge, do what you got to do.
Yeah,
Then
you got to do, right?
the first week of January comes, he flies out. He asked me if he wanted me to fly to LA with him, and they did this deal with Warner Brothers, and the rest is history.
And the reason why this is so important, especially culturally, because Steve Rifkind, your experiences that you were going through at that time, whatever it was, it had it caused an immense shift in the music we all love in hip hop. So that's why I'm so interested. Like every aspect of it, of like your experiences and who you're meeting and who you're getting involved with, especially in the '80s, because it has an impact on all of our lives. I mean, of course yours, but definitely.
Well, it's the originality factor
Yeah.
to the point I was trying to get to, because back then, for instance, now it's like this stylish shit, right?
Yep.
The grind was so original, new, and authentic. Like Big Daddy Kane or Rakim would be at Albee Square Mall on a Saturday, 2:00 in the afternoon, right? At the jewelry spot, and get a call from the manager or whoever, yo, we about to shoot a video, Union Square, 5:00. They gotta pull up as is. It wasn't no time to get a stylist, the budget together for the shit. Like, it was on the spot, cop and go like that back in the day. We lost that there a little bit along the line. And it's great, because we created jobs and people to take care of their families and stuff like that. But the originality shit that we got drawn into was because of that. It was like that wasn't artist development yet. That's what I'm trying to say. It wasn't artist
No,
development.
because there was no money. But the artist development was the street, right? I have a saying that I've been saying since I'm 20 years old. The streets don't lie. So how many times you're an actor, right? Where the reviews are shit, but the movie's incredible. The restaurant, the reviews are amazing for the restaurant, but the food sucks.
Or vice versa.
Yeah. So you can't stop word of mouth.
If there was social media back then, you think,
I would have
Think
a
about
million followers. No.
do you think like your job as far as what you contributed to would have been easier with social media back then?
No, because I mean,
Still the streets.
I discuss this with my kids all the time. The streets don't lie. Like, you could manipulate Instagram, YouTube, all you want, but at the end of the day, you got to listen. Like, in the heart of Loud, right? My wife and kids lived in LA. I would stay 1 week. I would fly. I would leave LA Monday at 4:00, get in at midnight, and then leave Thursday at 4:00, fly to Atlanta, have a dinner, and then fly.
Your miles is up, Steve.
Then fly. No, I had a plane in those days. I had a plane in those days.
Okay.
So, but there would be 1 weekend where I would stay here.
All right.
And what I would do is, we were known for the street team and everything else. So I'm a competitive motherfucker.
Right.
So what I would do without anybody, I would start off from Brooklyn on a Saturday, go to Brooklyn, USA, see what the kids are talking about, see what this is talking about. Then I would go to Dr. J's on 34th Street.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Wow.
Then I would go to training camp on 45th Street.
Yeah.
Same
Boy,
thing.
Udi.
Udi's my brother.
That's my
brother.
oh,
We see this
goodness,
tattoo?
great.
We have the same tattoo.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my boy. Come on, Udi.
We all
Yeah.
connected up here in the storm, man.
So
We all
he's from
connected.
Shaolin. He's from.
Yeah.
So
He wanted them ones. He
Yeah.
wanted them ones. He
So-
put me on so much
yeah.
game.
So he
One of the reasons.
and
why-
he would let me like manage the store on the Saturday because
Yeah.
he's religious, everything else like that. And then I would go to a sneaker store in Dominican Heights called BJ's,
Yeah.
and I think it was 100. If I
On
remember,
45th?
145th. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was B.
I spent a lot of money. Hoss, when I got to the NBA,
Spend more money.
when I got to the NBA, man, I used to go up there. It was
Buy
just
me a
ridiculous.
Italian
Kelly
mixtape.
Powell.
So when I would come,
Luca Brasi and what?
when I would come to the office on Monday, I thought I was the fucking like the inside. He was in the street team. That kid right there.
There you go.
I would test everybody, and they have no idea what the fuck I did, and they would be scratching their fucking head.
Like, where this dude came from?
Like
Me?
boom, 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 boom. All right, and
Your desk even had a boss table just like this, right? That coffee table. Maybe a rigid scratchy in there.
Oh,
A little good mahogany
Yeah.
wood, some little mahogany.
no, it's some cheap shit.
so Steve, we in the 80s, right? And of course, we all know. I don't know if you, in mid 80s, we had the crack epidemic.
Yeah.
Mid '80s, I moved to LA, but
You moved to LA,
I started managing New
but
Edition.
you know the crack epidemic was ridiculous in New York City.
Well,
you know,
he was in L.A. Not to cut you off for the lake show. That the mid
yeah. Well, that's another. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that because I was a diehard Laker fan. But
parties in the locker room. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
but the music in the 80s, now with the birth of hip hop a decade before, we in the 80s, and you have a lot of great artists that's coming out right now. I mean, we talk about LL Cool J, Run DMCs,
my faves.
our West Coast rappers, NWA, Ice-T's, and you know, so many great artists in the 80s, which was I love that era, by the way. But the crack epidemic, it just coming from Harlem, it was devastating. When I say it was devastating, I mean, I saw my best friend, so many people succumbed to it.
My best friend took a gun. He wanted $20.
It
And he
was
put a gun in my fucking mouth.
it was crazy. My
For
best
$20.
Yo.
my best friend
20
tried to steal
fucking
a big TV and fell out the window shaft. That my 14-year-old best friend, 13-year-old best,
Yeah,
one of my
that
best
was
friends.
a
It was
lot.
crazy.
That
It was
was a
crazy,
lot. Yeah,
and
I know
all
about it.
the devastation caused. But the music, though, for some reason, it stayed rich in the 1980s.
It was
you know?
the pain. It was pain. It was the struggle, the strife, and that was the only thing made you feel better. Like they put it into some type of expression that
We seen all this, and we didn't
Yeah.
succumb to it. We knew, so everybody knew somebody. But I guess the question I want to ask you, like in the 1980s, what projects, if at all, that you were involved in, that you got involved in the 80s? Any period during the 80s? And
So-
go ahead.
Yeah, so I moved out to LA, started managing New Edition.
What year was you moved?
I want to say I moved out in 85.
85.
all right on the
Right.
dot. That was any.
85, right?
Yeah, that's
And then
ain't it?
I got involved with Tone Loc,
Tone Loc.
Wild Thing, Funky Cole Medina.
Yeah.
Of course.
Got involved with
Numbers.
And if you watch and research these names he's calling out, this
Yeah,
guy's
yeah,
not just naming names. You got to research.
got involved with Young MC, Busta Move.
Young MC.
Another one.
Busta Move, and then the Tone Loc Wild Thing video was the first video that Yo MTV ever played.
Yes, it was.
Not only on Yo MTV, but they had a program called Buzzworthy or Buzzbin,
No doubt.
and it became a mainstream record.
And us on the East Coast, of course, we when it hit our ears, we like Tone Loc a lot.
Yeah.
We love Tone Loc.
he
It was
had
real.
it.
And
He had it.
were you with him as far as like a manager, or you was part of the label?
So what happened was, I was making the New Edition album. I wasn't making it.
God.
I was managing New Edition. I wasn't the A&R guy.
We're gonna go to that next.
So I needed cash. So I had like this promotion company. I would get, people would hire me to get records played on the radio, everything else like that. So I see this record called Mellow Man Ace.
I remember Mellow Man Ace.
Mellow Man Ace.
And I call up the record company. I said, "Hey man, I think I could help you with this record." And I go in there, and these two brothers, Mike and Rick Ross, and they were like me, but they were these white Jewish guys that just loved hip hop, and they were DJs. Mike was a DJ with his other partner, Matt. So I said, "Are you doing this? Or are you doing that?" So I came pretty much in and ran the whole company for them. They gave me an office I could still do what I had to do, and they paid me like not that much money, like $150 a week, but at least I had a little bit of spending. And at that time, my girlfriend was a huge actress, and she was on a top 5 TV show.
Oh yeah, so you was good.
Yeah, we don't name no names either.
He had a little motion. He had a shorty. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So that's how it started. So then they started growing, and they would cheat. And they moved into much bigger offices. They had like 2 platinum albums.
Yeah, back then that's huge.
Added to that. So I said,
Those were actually.
I said, I'm going to keep your office. And I had maybe $4,000 to my name. And I told my staff, we're going to make these pamphlets, and we're going to send it to every record company and every executive out there. I knew I was going to New York for my cousin's wedding. I fly into New York. I stay in New York for a week, and I have meetings, maybe 40 meetings. I had an assistant and one other person at the time. I came back with $500,000 worth of business, and that was the start.
All right, so this is the perfect segue. I'm sorry, Nell, because I
No, it's no sorry. You the guest
I can't
host.
wait. I can't wait. See, I didn't know this. I'm privy to shit now, and a couple of other things prior to we started, right? So, is this why or how you go to LA, you check the landscape, you see what's going on, what's moving over there? Is all right. So now you signing the Wu, because I gotta.
But Wu is still much later.
I know, but see, you got the link. You know. See, a lot of musical, like the influence on the early, the industry with the hip hop or even R&B comes from LA. A lot of, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, was that your mindset when it got later down the road that you figured?
No, I moved to LA because I fell in love.
Right. All right.
So-
But then the counter, because we needed something, the East Coast needed something to go head up with the West Coast at the time. is
Because
what I'm saying.
I was overly influenced by the West Coast.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
right, sure.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, you had-
I got introduced
yeah.
to Snoop Dogg Pound.
Yeah, but that's 90s.
Yeah, right.
That's 90s. We're still talking 80s.
85, right? Because
So Wu I met in
92?
I met Wu on my birthday of 93.
Okay.
Me and Meth have the same birthday.
Okay.
March 2nd,
Yeah.
1993.
Okay.
And that's RZA just, Loud as Now, I had a half a hit with a group called the Alcoholics,
Right.
right?
Right.
And we did around
J-Ro.
No doubt.
J-Ro, Tash,
Yeah,
and,
yup.
and E. Swift.
Yup.
So
All right.
E. Swift was with me in New York, and I was in a guest office, and the guest office is as big as like this booth, like that's behind you. And I'm walking out in the hallway, and the receptionist says, "There's a Prince Rakeem waiting for you."
Rocky.
So I was like, "Is this a joke?" I've been trying to reach him since the beginning of the year.
When did you
See, that's why I couldn't
first
wait.
hear about Prince Rakeem though?
I mean, I knew about the record that I had on Tommy Boy,
Tommy Boy, yeah.
That was in the late 80s,
yeah,
right?
no, that was
Nah, that was
early
90s.
90s.
That was
Early
before
90s.
90s.
Yeah.
So, but it went one year out there, I wasn't paying attention, right? So, but now this record, and when they sent me the record, I was like, first of all, I didn't know if there were 4 guys, 3 guys. I never thought 9 fucking guys.
9.
This
Right.
is what I'm trying to get
and
to.
and without a fucking hook.
Without a hook.
And I was like, and I never considered myself an A&R guy. So the guy who worked for
That's
me,
what I'm saying. Yeah.
so the guy who worked for me, I called him. I was like, Trev, this record doesn't have a hook. This is the most interesting record I've ever heard in my life. I'm going to be in New York in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Like, let's see if we could set up a meeting, or we'll fly him out to LA. RZA didn't have an answering machine. I called him 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. I don't
Crazy.
stand on like, I don't care if you don't call me back. I'm still calling you.
But the persistence back then, because now
another lesson.
You missing the bag. Pick up your phone, man.
So he shows up. He doesn't know. No, there's no social media. So nobody knows I'm even in town.
Yeah, you can't keep tabs on nobody.
So he just shows up and he goes, "Hey, I got the guys downstairs. Can we come up and play you the record?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." No exaggeration. From here to there,
Right there.
right there, E Swift stands on the windowsill, right? And they put on the record, and all nine guys show up, perform the record.
Which song was this?
I never
Protect-
heard that. I'm from Staten Island. I grew up and I never heard this story.
So, but here's the clincher. The door's closed. Somebody walks in like a mailroom or like, like a uniform, right? Like a one piece, like a jumpsuit, right? And he goes, "That's that shit." And he runs out. I got a $2 million check still waiting for this fucking guy. I don't know if Riz has set me up
Or not,
or if this guy really. I never saw
Don't
this
even
guy
matter.
again.
Yeah.
Wow, what the fuck? Yo, who is that? Who is that?
And the point,
Chris,
definitely, I
has
want to
the
get
story
across.
changed? Has that story changed? Like, there's no
Because so that's the first Wu-Tang encounter, and we definitely going to dive into that. But like right before that, it was still like Tone Loc and the West Coast guys.
No,
You moved to Alcoholics.
I had the licks. Now I had Loud, right?
Yeah.
So, but from
We Allow was established, by the way.
Loud
Yeah.
started
Know that.
92.
92. Okay.
That's
cool.
what I said.
Yeah.
90.
I was in college
That's
then.
what
But-
you had the label.
But there was Pac
Uh-huh.
in 90.
Great Tupac.
So
West Coast.
So now I started.
It was strong.
So now I started the whole street team movement. I own the name Street Team. So I'm working now. Like I said, I came back with $500,000 worth of business. I'm working. You name a record from 1988 to 2000. I promise you, my hands were in that record.
This was a
I
point
believe
in time,
you.
and that's
I
and that,
believe-
but
I believe
so that's
you.
why just as great as this
Indubitably.
podcast is, you always want to educate.
So,
This is
so Pac was my roommate.
Crazy.
So we would go on the road Thursday to Sunday. And he would, instead of him going back up to Oakland, he would stay with me, because knowing that we would have to head out again.
Anyway.
But he would come to the office, and it wasn't a big office. He would come to the office, and this motherfucker worked. And I'm not saying motherfucker in a bad way. Like,
No. We know.
he worked.
Motherfucker.
He was on the
Yeah.
floor with us, smoking with us, packing up records, signing. And like, we would write the letter, he would sign his name,
Yeah.
ship out the record, and we had a run like you cannot believe.
From all accounts,
I love shit like
I
that.
felt that with Tupac, it was like a humble approach towards the profession of doing things. He would just work.
We seen him coming from digital. Like I was there.
I was a Humpty Hump.
and
Same
I
song
wasn't-
as any-
and I wasn't
to this
even
day.
a Pac fan, but I could
Yo,
pinpoint
but
everything.
that same song record was ridiculous.
Yes.
Ridiculous. No,
Yes.
I
I was already going with Digital Underground, by the
What?
way. I was enthralled
Yeah.
with Humpty Hump. Humpty Hump was my favorite rapper for a few.
That's
Two
cool.
moments.
That's okay.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Sorry
I ain't
about
mad
that.
at you now.
Look him up.
But even
For a few moments.
but even Hammer, before he had the big record,
Hammer too. I just like Hammer.
Pump Up when he what the fuck?
There ain't really nobody from West Coast I didn't like. I ain't gonna front.
Because it was all original.
I like Kid Frost.
But me too.
Do this for la raza.
But that's but listen, but that's because of the originality of the music, the creative. It was so original, and we never heard that before. East Coast, we got our dope rappers.
Yeah. But see, we didn't
great,
know
but it was something
enough.
different.
We didn't know it was more room for this originality.
I
This
loved
old way,
NWA.
like, some new
Tupac.
shit. And almost better. Like almost better. The sound. You know what I mean?
It was a rapper from the West Coast. He had a song called Froggy Style. I forgot who that was.
That sound familiar.
Froggy. It was like weird, but I don't know.
They got a few on.
But it was so original. It was different.
Yeah.
It was different from the style.
That's why to me, now that I'm learning all of these things, I'm like, you was plotting those, Steve. Because
I wasn't.
You
Listen,
was
man.
plotting.
Come on,
You
Steve.
was plotting because
Come on.
how you signed the Wu and the time where, like you said,
but-
Pac had this shit in Smash. Dre, Snoop, Dog Pound, everything coming out of there was in the Smash, early 90s. And my brother put me on to them, my brother D-Lee. Like, I didn't know nothing about West Coast music. He was coming in with the SNS doo-wop tapes, and then he had this Doggy Pound, no, what was Snoop's first shit?
Doggy
Doggy Style.
Doggy Style.
Doggy Style.
One of my favorite albums, by the way.
Forget
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm bugging. It was Chronic. When he
Oh,
came in the
well, you
crib.
want to go back
No,
before that?
it wasn't even Chronic.
Chronic was
No,
it
it was Deep Cover.
Deep cover
Yeah,
soundtrack.
bro.
Deep cover the soundtrack.
Yeah.
The song was crazy.
No, that was it.
And then they
That
come
was
out
it.
with
And
Chronic.
that started Death Row.
Right.
I listened to the Chronic every day for a long
But
period
you
of time.
was going head up with them, bro. Loud was going head up with the row
Whoa.
at the time. Loud. Like, we ain't talking Def Jam, fuck all that. You was going head up. You had it in the smash. You had the licks. You had them. Who else was on Loud? Mob was on Loud?
Mob was on that.
Yeah, come
Listen,
on.
you know, I say it all the time.
Gotta relax,
As
man.
great as Wu is, and to me, they are the best hip hop group of all time. But Mobb Deep's The Infamous record was the most important record of my career.
Oh yeah.
Just because.
Yeah, nah, that give it again.
And I'm not saying it because we're in Queens. I'm saying it because to show the world that we weren't just a one-hit wonder with
Exactly.
with
Okay.
Wu.
No doubt.
Okay.
So we came with a right, and then we knocked them out with the
Mob
fucking
saved
left.
the
Hold up.
day. They did.
What made
Have
you
and Prodigy
start-
saved the fucking day.
We're gonna like this.
They came through like Batman and Robin out this month.
What made you start listeners of urban dialect?
Man,
Loud music.
All right. So
What made you start that?
I didn't want to start it. You know, I'm a basketball crackhead, right?
Yes.
So I have this marketing company. I get it up to $1 million a year. I'm not even 30 yet.
All right.
Right? I would be in the office at 7. I would leave at 2:30. I would go to the park to play ball for 2 hours. Come home, shower, eat, come back to the office, and send out my daily reports. Granted, there are no cell phones.
Nope.
Right? So,
Can't believe this shit.
right? So now, another cousin of mine is getting fucking married. And I go see this talent agent, and he says, man, you need to have a label. And I'm making a lot of money with the talent agent because every artist that I know that's blowing up, I'm saying, hey, Jerry, you got to sign this kid.
Yeah.
Right?
Straight up.
So he introduces me. He goes, you got to go see this lawyer, Paul Marshall. I said, I know Paul. He's my dad's attorney. He goes, do me a favor, just go see him. So Paul's office was on 57th Street. Let him rest in peace. Great man. He's chain smoking. Like literally. He goes, I get you a label. I'm like, man, I don't want a label. I'm good. I'll tell you, I don't know the exact date, but it was the day of the draft. And it was 1992. And I'm at my man's house, who actually ended up being my partner on Loud, my childhood best friend. I'm watching the draft. Again, no cell phones. The house phone rings,
Yeah.
and it's my dad. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm watching the draft." He goes, "Get here now." I'm having flashbacks that, like,
I
from
already
shit
know.
that I did
already know.
in the past.
What did I do, man?
I'm like, he goes, I go, this can't wait till tomorrow. He goes, no, I need to see you now. So now I'm thinking somebody's either dead or somebody's going to jail.
Yeah.
Like that's all I'm thinking.
All bad.
Right. And this is 10 o'clock at night. I got to take the Long Island Railroad.
Cause I'm about to
From
say
the city.
ain't no Uber.
Yeah, there's
nothing.
nothing. Right. I gotta
Get
take,
there.
I gotta take the
Come on, Steve. Get there.
I
Get there.
got to take the
Get
Long
there.
Island Railroad to Merrick, right? I get there at 11:45. And he's sitting on the couch. He's smoking a joint. This is my dad. And he goes, "You're doing good and everything, but you're the dumbest motherfucker I ever met in my life." And I'm like, "This is what you could have said this on the phone." I go. What I do now? I go.
That's pops.
Like, what I do? I go. Is it something from back in the day? He goes, no. I said, is Grandpa okay? Grandpa's good. I said, are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. But you're a dumb motherfucker,
Back to that.
right? So I'm like, all right, Dad. Like, what do you have me here for? Because I heard you had a meeting with Paul Marshall. I'm like, yeah. He goes, and I heard he could get you a label deal, and you don't want it. He goes, how come you don't want it? I said, Dad, I make $1 million a year. I'm not even 30 yet. I'm 29 years old.
Let me get there.
Love this.
I go, I get to the office at 7. Nobody's going to outwork me. I work till 2. This is California time, so it's 5 East Coast time. I go to the park. I play ball. I eat. I shower. And I go back to the office at 9 o'clock, which is midnight. So when everybody
Gets up.
gets up and they're in their office, they have the fax machine. There weren't even fucking computers.
Yup.
The reports would be there every single day. He goes, all right, that's great. He goes, what happens if you start losing some business? I'll find more business. He goes, this is where you're a fucking idiot. He goes, you got to start a record company so you could earn money while you sleep.
Residuals.
So I'm like, he goes, you understand what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, record sales, this, that, or whatever. He goes,
Not just 7 to 2 bullshit,
he goes,
Steve.
he goes, you need
Overnight.
he goes, you need to own assets and not contracts. And it's the first time in my life that me and him truly agreed on something. I said, Dad, you're right. I'll call Paul in the morning. He goes, no, we're seeing Paul tomorrow at 2:30. So I was like, all right, can I take the car into the city now?
Yeah, Rick, I'm about to ask you what you do. Did you stay at Dad's? Or you go
Wait,
back
so he goes,
I
no,
was about to
he
get
goes,
at
no,
it.
you can't take the car. He goes, will you drive me off at the train? He goes, no, he goes, you're sleeping here because I don't trust you that you'll show up.
Ah,
For the
nice.
And I'm looking at him. I said, you really are a piece of shit,
Nah, Pop's a G.
right?
I dad was gonna ask. So we
mean,
went home after that.
Like, nah,
after
he,
you
like,
agreed.
like he took his piece, puts it on the fucking table, like just like he's like, "Now you're sleeping here and you're driving me into
I
the
fucking
city."
dare you to leave.
So y'all established Loud Records.
So I go to the attorney, and I said, "This is what I'm looking for." I said, "I'll finance." They all thought I was fucking crazy then. I said, "I'll finance everything up to 50,000 albums. I'll sign the artist. I'll do this. I'll market it, and then after 50, I want a real fucking check."
So in your capacity, you was ready to use your resources that you had to like.
I already had it. I already controlled
Exactly.
the streets.
Exactly. He invented the street team. That
So
was it.
Paul said, "I thought you didn't want a label." I said, "I didn't." He goes, "Well, how do you put this together?" I said, "It only makes sense. Like I'm gonna trust somebody if I'm gonna pick music."
Exactly.
So and the first artist we found was Twista.
Twister.
You went in, look, he said, I'm gonna fund everything up to
The
the
great
half,
Twister,
a half a
everybody.
man. That's where you won at.
How many albums? How many projects sold? How many albums sold with Twister?
We only sold 100,000. So this is a great story. So we sell 50,000 the first fucking day.
Wow.
So now I'm supposed to go up to BMG and get a $2 million check.
Because that was something in the deal.
That was in the deal. I'm going to finance it, right?
Yeah.
So
you
50
financed it up to 50,
right?
half a man. I got a half a man for y'all. What's good?
So
It's education.
I go up to the CEO. He goes, "We're going out of
Oh,
we're going out of business." So I was like, "Okay." In those days, I had a temper,
Pretty okay.
a really bad temper.
Okay. Okay.
Smacked him around, flipped the desk, and I left.
was that the flipping desk incident? No, that wasn't the. That, it was.
No, that was
later on.
that was a
later on. We'll
a
talk about that. Yeah.
So
But you was upset, frustrated.
I'm expecting a $2 million check.
Period.
Like
that's
that goes in my pocket. I don't have to do anything with it, but
right.
buy a watch. Like like,
if I want to splurge.
Put in the pot. Yeah.
yeah. So and I had to go to Atlanta the next day for a convention. So there was a big attorney in Atlanta that was really making a huge name for himself, and we developed a friendship. And my brother was living in Atlanta too at the time, working for Elektra Records. And I land, check into the hotel, go to his office, which is right around the corner from the hotel. And there's my fucking father.
Yo. Pops is Houdini.
And I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" He goes, "Joe called me and told me what's going on, this, that, or whatever." So I was like, "So what are you doing here?" He goes, "Well, the president of RCA is in the next room. You guys should meet."
This is history, man.
So
Yeah. Pretty much.
I meet the president of RCA, and he had a meeting. I had a meeting, this, that, or whatever, and he goes, "Can we meet at the bar? We're staying at the same hotel. Can we meet at the bar at 11 o'clock?" I said, "Yeah, sure." We meet at the bar. I told him my concern. I said, "You're also a BMG company." He was a BMG company. It's like, he goes, "He was a startup BMG company, and we're Elvis Presley." And I said, "But you're also known now as Record Cemetery of America." They haven't had a hit in who the fuck knows how long. Wow. So at 3:30 in the morning on a napkin, we structured a deal. And again, I'll put up the money for the first 50,000. But here's the thing: singles was the biggest, like just a single.
Yeah.
I said I want 10 puts on any single that I will pay for,
Okay.
and it's on the napkin. We shake hands, and the official contract's done 2 weeks later.
Because that's when Maxie's.
Wait, let me finish. What came out of that single deal? Wu-Tang, Protect Your Neck,
Protect your neck.
and the rest.
I mean, you talk about monumental stuff right here, but I guess
What was on the white label for Protect Your Neck?
The original was a record called Tears.
It was Tears. See, I didn't want to say. I was going to say Bring the Ruckus. It was Tears.
We couldn't clear the sample.
Laughter.
Yeah,
They couldn't clear that.
we couldn't clear the sample for the single.
My favorite RZA sample.
But
Eventually.
but once the album was done, we got to clear it,
it's
and
on the album.
and it's on the album.
All right.
But
It
you
was
know,
Tears though.
but you know,
That's a good one.
but you know, it was the beat. What came out of that record when we
What?
couldn't clear METHOD.
Right. Yeah. For sure. For sure.
this
Crazy.
is blowing me away. By the way, this is blowing me away.
And Bring the Pain was the.
Bring the Pain with that was best solo record.
Yeah. Right.
So I guess the question I want to ask you: Who came first? Was it Wu-Tang or Mobb Deep?
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang came
yeah.
first. So
That's why he said he cleaned up with the mob.
Yeah, so Wu-Tang was November 9th, 1993. Mobb Deep was April 25th, 1995. Raekwon was August 1st, August 2nd, 1995.
95.
So I'm doing a 30-year anniversary tour now with Mobb Deep and Raekwon.
That's when I graduated high
what is
school.
it? Is it an event in New York City?
Yeah, in Brooklyn.
The
In Brooklyn, when is that?
I think it's at the
Infamous
time.
Mob. That was
When-
my
when is
theme
that?
songs,
gotta be
records.
there.
That was it.
December 8th? Okay, cool. Good to know. So when the RZA or Prince Raheem meets Steve Rifkind, when y'all first meet in person, what was that like?
It was Love and First Sight.
I was about to say because like
We're
I
still
know RZA.
partners. We're still partners. We're partners on the tour. And there's other
Unbelievable.
shit. You know, RZA would come up. Sorry for cutting you off.
No. You good. You
RZA would come up. I decided, even though I'm from here, I'm really living in LA, right? And I decided I'm going to be here for the summer. And I came for the summer. The record, Method Man, the record. Outkast had a party somewhere. I forget the name of the
I
club.
always remember that.
Right?
That Speed? Not Speed.
No, it wasn't
That's-
Speed.
that's
It was
too-
on the east side somewhere. It was a bougie ass club. I don't know what the fuck. But the METHOD Man record came. And I remember I was with Steve Stout. Steve was working at RCA at the time. And the record comes on and there was just a stampede. And I was like, holy shit, we got a fucking... I knew we had a hit, but I didn't know we had a title.
Right.
And
right.
I'm gonna just tell you from my point of view. So when Protect Your Neck came out, I was in college, and it's another one, chess boxing.
Chess Boxing was the
So
second
so
single.
so these so these
that
so these records came out, and they had the videos
Yeah,
for them, right?
video,
The
yeah.
video. So
Sure
they was
did.
playing the UC. So I wasn't fucking with Wu-Tang right away. It was
Oh,
I was
you funny
reluctant. I was
for
like,
that,
yo,
Nell.
I was like, yo, it's mad dudes.
You funny.
I couldn't identify with nobody, and I just I thought it was dope, but I couldn't relate.
I hear you.
And
I
then,
hear you.
And then MET Method Man came out, and I didn't even
Well,
know.
Method Man was before Chess Boxing.
But I didn't get it. It didn't hit my ears until later, and I didn't relate the company.
No,
I didn't relate them yet. I didn't relate them yet.
I could
So Method Man brought the
concur.
song. Method Man
I could concur with
brought
you
me into the Wu-Tang. Like,
because us for Staten Island,
and
Staten
you got
Islanders,
a great.
we were just in awe because like my cousin was RZA's best friend. He had got murdered in 90, right? So
So
he had,
Tears could be about him.
yeah, so huh?
Tears
said
could be.
Tears.
About to throw the fucking hat at the fucking camera right now. Cause he talked about how, see, it's two of my cousins that got murdered. My aunt Anita's only two sons got murdered 2 summers apart, 90 and 92. And see, when Tears came out, he was talking about how my cousin went out for a loaf of bread. So my cousin Poppy, each was RZA's best friend. He introduced Meth to RZA, Cause when he came from Long Island, all that type of shit. They were the flowers. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
Before the Wu, they were called the flowers. Cause they had the Samurai Suzukis with the joints. So remember the panels on the
Yeah,
side? You
yeah.
could put your little custom shit on it. So anyway, he does the verse, and I'm like, is he talking about Ryan or Poppy? Cause my cousin went out to go to the store for my aunt, but stayed in to play dice. He got caught in the dice game, and then there was a shootout.
So he gets shot.
So Steve saying that right now because and me and RZA never really had this conversation.
And I never had the conversation with RZA either.
That's
but-
fucking crazy. It's
but-
almost guaranteed that Tears is about Poppy because Poppy probably heard a little more than East because Poppy was the little brother. And he wanted to be just like, so he gets murdered 2 summers later in a dice game.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
So
My life really ain't been the same since, but that's what.
unbelievable. But so Method Man brought me in, and then our teammate of mine said, "Yo, you heard?" I said, "You heard this new Method Man?" I told him. He said, "Oh yeah, that's Method Man from the Wu-Tang Clan." I said, "Wu-Tang Clan? Is that the shit?" So I went back, and it's been different ever since.
Yeah, no. See,
Once I made the correlation,
yeah.
So-
Made the correlation, right?
So it was a definitely a significant part of my life because sometimes different music groups or
Right.
artists you relate to them. So when once I got the whiff of like Wu-Tang and Method Man was part of that, and then now it's all these members. And matter of fact, everybody's nice on the mic.
See, and then you gotta understand now, it was probably hard because you were probably trying to get over too, and I bet you the fact that it was Staten Island. We
That
the fifth,
too.
We the 5th borough, the forgotten borough.
I didn't dish y'all.
Remember Rod Kim said,
Yeah.
they say we soft and smiling, but if we
Yeah.
smiling, then our fronts is shining. Blunts are being passed and the guards are rhyming. Calm, casual, cool, and collective. Because we learn being smooth is effective, right? So I always like how RZA himself, before he even got the Wu culminated, was able to represent for our borough. Cause it's treacherous in
Yeah,
Staten
I
Island.
know.
Like we were always left out of the
Yeah.
conversations though.
Yeah.
So that was what was gauging.
But it didn't matter.
You know what I'm saying?
So I got gravitated to Wu-Tang.
But still, you still came around. You still
But
came
the
around.
question that I want to ask you is like, what you had to see? What was the vision, or what was the spark to say, you know what, this is?
It was about survival, man. I had Twisted that did 100. I had the Licks that we did 200.
Numbers. They were
Right?
doing numbers.
So no, they weren't doing numbers.
But
when
at
we
this
got them.
point-
There was a buzz. Now they're numbers, but like I had to give them a deal that everybody called me and said I was fucking crazy.
Exactly.
But it was about survival of the fittest, right? So I gave
No
it.
pun intended.
So I gave them a deal where they were allowed to do solo records, right? The record companies itself were fucking pigs, animals, and the biggest piece of shits in the world. Well, let me finish, right?
Please.
So I was managing New Edition,
Uh-huh.
right? Ralph was threatening to leave the fucking group every 2 fucking seconds, right? So that's why we put Johnny in. Bobby left.
Yeah.
So and the one thing even when Michael Jackson threatened to leave the Jacksons,
History, y'all.
when Michael Jackson left to leave the Jacksons, his tour was not as big as the Jackson 5 reunion
Wow.
tour. Right? So I said the group will always be bigger than the whole.
Mm-hmm.
So you could take your solo records, long as I have first right, and then go.
So-
So Meth was signed to Def Jam.
Yeah.
I didn't have the money to afford it. Jizza was signed to Geffen.
Yup.
Didn't have the money to afford it.
Dirty was at Electra.
Dirty was at election. I said, nah, fuck this now. I went in. I went into RCA
Yeah.
and I took the CEO by the fucking throat.
Yo.
And I said, you're giving me money for Raekwon.
Gonna give me that.
And that's another thing. But
I ain't asking.
Wait,
I'm telling.
but so here's the table story. We're supposed to be negotiating with Wu-Tang, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
They're corporate. I'm sitting I'm here, and we're $20,000 away for for Ray. And the business attorney said, fuck you, Steve Rifkind. We're on the 36th floor conference. Let me not walk out of here. The 36th floor conference room. I take
36 chambers, 36
What?
floors.
Look,
Or the
I know-
side-
wait a second, let me finish.
I know what's coming. I'm just saying.
I
I'm just
take
saying, I'm
the
just saying.
chair and I'm about to throw it out the window. And I caught it because I knew if it went through the window,
Somebody was gonna die.
somebody was going to die, and then I'm doing
Somebody's
a bid.
gonna die. Yeah.
Right? I catch it, dislocate my thumb, and I throw it through the front door. and all hell breaks loose. And the head of business affairs runs, calls the cops. I get
I mean,
cuffed.
that was better than you killing somebody, though.
The chair that revolutionized hip hop, everybody.
Right.
Because
Right.
that was definitely an important part,
No, it
important
was.
moment in hip hop.
It was.
To get that, to make that happen. But I got gravitated or started to find out about you, young man, when I'm a little older now in college, and I had heard that they sound with Loud Records, and
Right.
he's giving everybody a chance to do their own thing. And I thought that was so fascinating that you have this big group that you had the smarts to to take a chance
Just
on
to
just letting
have
everybody go
the
their way and not have any
intuition,
pressure on
everything.
anybody. And I thought that was so fascinating to me. And I didn't know about you that much at the time, but that definitely put you on the map as far as with me.
Let me ask you a question, because I know who's the originator of the Wu W. Is that the third, right? Who did the Loud logo? Because that's when I knew y'all was gonna win too. The Loud logo with the headphones.
With the headphones around Loud.
That was one of the most like innovative shits I saw. That meant a lot for me. Cause you know why? Like I'm an artist, right? We're all artists. But I don't believe the only true artistry for me, like artists, are those that can draw and paint. I'm jealous and envious of painters and drawers. Cause that was the shit to be able to do in school back in the day. Like everybody could draw. I couldn't. I was envious of draw. So the Wu W is near and dear to my heart. The Loud logo, the Death Row. So who came up with that Loud with them headphones? Cause it was
So
like, yo, we here now.
So, well, we had the logo when we came with the name. So honestly, I don't remember who did it.
Okay.
But there's a guy by the name of Faye Duvernay and Lisa. Well, they're married now. Faye and Lisa Duvernay, but it was Lisa Russell. Lisa's sister was the sister to the girl, the reason why I moved out to LA.
Okay.
And Faye found somebody, and we paid, I don't know.
Shout out to them though, cause
Yeah.
when I saw that, and I was like, cause this shit was all.
But let me ask you a question. If I didn't have a hit record, that logo doesn't mean shit.
See, but nah, I don't know though. I don't know if one got to do with the other or not.
It's about the music, man.
All right, so there you go.
Well,
But then y'all was
especially
standing
that's-
on business. That logo was just like, yo, our shit is bumping.
Yeah.
Everything bumping. You had licks, you had twists. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
I mean, listen. I mean, we had Twister, we had the Licks, we had Wu.
it wasn't just
Right.
for Woo though. Like
we gonna get to that,
We had Exhibit, we had Pun, we had
Exhibit.
3-6, we had MOP.
I went on tour with Exhibit too, by the
Beat
way.
Nuts.
Europe,
Flex.
That's crazy.
We did the Flex mixtapes. I know I'm missing a.
Now y'all reshaped the landscape
Yeah.
of hip hop. Those that early mid '90s to about 2000 probably.
Yeah.
Sticking what you call.
I said MOP.
Forget it, man.
Yeah. So
Forget it.
I mean, Steve, you saw Wu-Tang, and I mean, you saw the vision, you saw something, and at this stage, then the Wu-Tang album drops, and then Raekwon album drops, which I would say Raekwon album changed my life. Wu-Tang changed my life, but Raekwon album changed my life because it was so high quality, so innovative, so everything. The lyrics, the music, it was.
See, but who came up with the purple tape? See, I don't know that. I grew up with these niggas and don't know who came up with that.
There's somebody in the market. Listen, I would love
That
to.
was the best shit.
But
in
it was
fucking
somebody in the
world.
marketing department. I literally have no
Purple
clue.
tape?
But you see an increase in numbers at this time as far as what you're doing.
Oh, now I mean, Puff was in his lane.
Yeah.
You know, Puff was coming with Radio Records. I just looked at it this way: you had Death Row, Def Jam, and Puff all fighting for one position.
For that top spot.
I'm not even saying top spot. They're fighting for that one lane.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck it is. we just stayed to ourselves.
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck if we had 5 radio stations.
Well, because I was gonna say y'all had anti-radio hits. That's what I called them.
I mean, it was
that were
to me. It was soul music
perfect,
to me.
Though it was the break in the monotonous shit. Like
It was soul
it was
music
the
to me.
break we needed.
So of course Wu-Tang and the RZA, everything is looking up and going according to what you would want, right, at that time. But when did Mobb Deep and how did Mobb Deep come into the picture?
Mobb Deep came in 94. We signed him in 94.
Yeah, because 95.
Right? There's, I had Stretch Armstrong, who's a DJ. talk about them. He knew somebody. There was a girl from distribution that actually, it was a collective between different people. To
Yeah,
say,
facts, word.
right? But
The stretch is in there somewhere.
so it was Stretch, it was Free, and then it was the girl from distribution. And Stretch and Free knew each other. The girl from distribution was from Queensbridge, and she just worked in distribution. And P was sick, Half Kane, and you know, I tell the story all the time. He went to the bathroom to smoke a cigarette, and now it's a new building, so like the second thing,
The alarm went off.
not the alarms,
The
but-
sprinklers came down. Oh my God.
and I was like, all right, this is the this is the perfect group for Loud.
I mean, Mobb Deep is another group who, when they hit your ears, it was like I had to just
But
take
don't
a
forget,
breath.
Shook Ones Part 2. That wasn't the original record.
Right. People
There was Shook Ones Part 1.
but that was on the album,
That was on. It was on the Infamous.
right? Or the Ever, right?
Yeah,
That wasn't right, but
But for us, Steve, when this music hit our ears, it was, I can't even tell you, it changed us. We was
when
never the same.
Prodigy was in that Saab coming over the Queensbridge and that shit just coming in, yo.
I mean,
You know that was a stolen car.
Yeah.
We didn't have money for it.
See, all right. Back to what I was saying earlier about when back in the day you ain't have a stylist and all this time to get the film car and the clothes and pull clothes from whoever, wherever.
That's just what it was.
We're gonna steal this whip. We got one time to get this shit right. We're gonna come over the bridge. We shooting this motherfucker. Do it the first take. That's it. Go.
Did you know Mobb Deep was going to be such a cultural type of
Havoc.
So
Havoc
had the cultural impact that they had?
Big marriage.
So when the album was done, I would drive to Long Island to play basketball on Sundays.
There's this guy, a basketball guy. I can't
Yeah,
wait
you
to
gotta
get
love
that. Yeah.
So it would be a 45-minute ride, and I would listen on repeat, An Eye for an Eye,
All right, that's probably my favorite joint. Where Ray and Ghost
and Nas,
and Nas, yeah.
and
Can't forget Esco shit. Don't do
and
that.
I would be flipping on everybody. I was like, this album's platinum. Like, we have to do, like, again, I told you, I had a crazy ass temper. So it was like, I was fighting with the staff, like, fist fight, guns, whatever the fuck it was. It was like, this album has to go platinum.
So that was your favorite record on the joint, Eye for an Eye?
Yeah,
that's
Temperature
really-
rising.
I mean, all of that. That shit is a
Yada yada. It's not even a yada yada. Everybody,
It really ain't.
It's masterpieces, basically.
It is.
You're dealing with like you
It
had a
really
lot of.
is.
But the
How?
but the classic thing was 3 months later we come with Cuban Links. And then it's like fuck
Then
you everybody.
Cuban Links comes, and then Cuban Links comes.
Incarcerated Scarfaces.
I mean-
hey yo, time is running
Yo.
out. It's for real though.
This-
Connect, politic, ditto.
But you had
Preach it.
you had ice cream. Not you had ice
I was
cream.
on that video set. That video set was bananas. We was up on 122nd and first,
You know,
like right there by the FD, retarded.
and the crazy thing was that Meth's solo record did 120.
Okay.
20,000 albums sold the first week.
Okay.
And Meth's my brother, and I never wanted to, but I wanted to put my foot in Def Jam's fucking neck so fucking bad.
Yo.
And I gave everybody at Loud, I said, if we break Method Man, everybody gets $5,000.
Wow. I mean,
Bonuses.
And we, without a radio record, we did 130.
and then when you just thought when Steve could be finished,
I was about to say, right? Just when you thought it was safe.
Big Pun comes into the picture.
'Cause I was
right about
to
90.
bring one up to-
No,
I
94,
meant on that
before
Loud
Punk comes,
office.
but then we came with Wu-Tang Forever.
And then I mean,
Come on, that's what you was just outside earlier.
I mean,
that was
come
your
on.
favorite shit.
So Big Pun comes. I think it changed a little bit of the landscape too, as far as like
because
it was another style, another Hispanic rapper.
Come on, out of here with it.
Just
Where was the office at on Lexington, right?
No, the first office was on 841 Broadway,
Okay.
and then we moved 205 Lex. 205 Lex.
That's where I met Pun at. And every time I come up there, I don't even know who I was coming up. I don't even remember who I was with. But every time I came to the office, Pun sitting in the lounge, like right out the elevator. Remember y'all had the shit
Left.
to the left. And Pun sitting there and he
Wait, in the music room or in?
right there in the front.
Oh, oh, so by Rich's office. Okay.
Yeah,
The blue music room in the back.
Yeah.
that's where Pun used to be at.
Where? So he would be. I thought he would be in the. I thought he would be in the. I would call it the fucking room.
Yo, he just don't Pun like this. He just sprawled on the couch.
Steve, hold
But
on.
no, listen, ready to snap.
We gonna go
though.
right there.
Like, look at you, big, coming off the elevator with your one leg up, like you LL Cool J. Like, yo, when you,
Hold on.
yo, it was you. Everybody
Steve.
was food. Pun was the illest snapper.
I'm not gonna let that go, Steve. So in a PG way, you called it the effing room, right?
Yeah.
That room they were talking about.
But the room in the back, not the room by Rich's office, the music room.
No window.
There was no
There was
windows.
definitely no window.
There was no
That's what I remember.
there was no windows, and it was the best sound system in all of New York.
That's what I remember. Thank you. I'm so sorry.
So
Blue wall.
Nah, I remember.
So
yes.
Big Pun
Yes.
and then Wu-Tang Forever, which for me, once again, here we go again, right? Here we go again with this monumental type of this sound that came. It was a little different from the first Wu-Tang album, in my opinion, right? But you know, the expertise of these MCs didn't change at all. Actually, they kind of it looked like it picked up a little bit, just the production and everything. And it was
Right.
it was it's soul music to
But
me.
it was so raw, the production.
When I first heard
Whoa.
Triumph, I didn't know what to say.
There was, you know what? The first time I heard Triumph, I listened to the record for 45 minutes. No exaggeration.
That's crazy.
I can believe you.
Raekwon and Power, who was one of the founders of Wu-Tang, there was a restaurant down the block called City Crab.
I remember City Crab.
We go to City Crab,
Yeah.
and I said, how much you guys want for the video? They said $1 million. So I was like, I didn't him, I didn't ho. I said, done. I said, now I have a son that's 2 years old. Now I'm a man of my word. So
Yeah.
you don't know where I'm going, so just relax.
Relax. All right.
So my wife then was a tremendous model, one of the biggest models in the world. So there was a guy named Brett Ratner who directed a lot of hip hop videos.
Yes, he
Rush
did.
Hour.
And then all the movies.
right.
And his girlfriend was best friends with this woman. And I'm like, who is that? I'd like to meet her. And he introduces me to her. I said, Brett, you get me a date with her. You have the next Wu-Tang video. 2 years later, when Ray said he needed $1 million, we haven't shot a Wu-Tang video yet. I called up Brett. I said, I'm living up to, I got a son now. And she's my wife. And I'm like, you got the Wu video and you got $1 million budget.
A man with a damn near newborn. We about to spend this M on this video though.
Nah, he wasn't a newborn anymore. He was 2.
Yeah, two.
Wow.
Yo.
Unbelievable, man. I mean, this
Now
is history.
about
This is-
taking risk, no reward. So if
And
you
it's
got
all-
that analogy in the dictionary, you just put Steve shit next.
But it's all the stuff that just shaped our lives. This whole culture. It made this culture like not so. It made it like it was already getting universal, but all
just like
these
official, a
contributions
stamp.
just made everything like you. Like everybody know about it. Like you could be in Tokyo, you could
like
be in Korea,
globally,
you could,
nah,
yeah,
this shit's
Australia.
worldwide.
It's
Nah,
like
shit's worldwide,
your contributions is just like across this earth. You know,
I opened up a marketing company in Paris.
Wow.
that's what I'm talking about. Like
There that go.
the business aspect. So we talking about alcoholics, Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, Big Pun. There's definitely others, right? You know, you said Tone Loc, Dead Prez, all these great artists.
I mean, are we just going to talk about that, or you want to talk about the other? You want to talk about Akon and David Banner and?
I mean, we didn't even get to that part yet because that's coming, right? That's coming like in the late '90s, almost, right?
No, that's early. That's after I left Loud.
That's
Came
coming
in
up.
2003.
So after all these great hip hop artists, you know, you have other visions, you have other thoughts. Like, what's next after like Big Pun and you talk about Akon? How did that happen?
No, Akon again was Pun was
Go further.
96. Now, Akon was the second label. So I sold Loud to Sony in '99.
In '99, okay.
Okay.
And I went from a staff of 40 of the best, most creative people in the world to a staff of 300 people, where people were calling me Mr. Rifkind at the age of 37. And I was like,
The hell?
that I'm not happy. And like, not all money is good money.
I heard
So,
that.
so no matter how much money they gave me,
I heard that.
I was miserable. I remember my
Money's coming in from everywhere.
I heard that.
Oh yeah, we had to go. Yeah. So that was my wife was pregnant with my twins.
Wow.
And I remember just being at the Four Seasons Hotel and having my first panic attack. I stopped
At 37.
I stopped going to
A
the
lot though.
I stopped going to the office. I stopped it. I stopped everything. And then as she was pregnant, the twins were due in December, like right before Christmas. And we were gearing
That's
up.
a lot.
We were gearing up for $100 million fourth quarter. And nobody thought we would be able to do it. And we did $145 million in the fourth quarter.
In the fourth.
That's unbelievable.
We had an exhibit album that went platinum, produced by Dr. Dre, with double platinum. Wu went double platinum. Flex went platinum.
60 minutes? That was 60
I
minutes?
don't know, not how deep. Prodigy went platinum. Keep It Thorough.
Yeah.
I think we put out 7 albums, and it was all
In the
color.
span of how long?
3-6. Between October to
The fourth quarter now?
That's crazy.
Talking about finishing up strong? All right, Steve, so out of all the legendary shit that you a part of and involved with and instrumental on, where does the film and television side come in at? Because I wasn't, aware that you was a producer on Paid in Full, which is a film that I was in.
again, it's just like the beginning of that. I didn't really want to be it was the farthest thing from my mind.
Right.
But all my closest friends were all in the film business. So I'm actually having dinner tonight with a friend of mine who was a tremendous agent at William Morris at the time. And he said, Miramax wants to go into urban films. I think you should take a meeting. So I was like, nah, I'm cool. I know nothing about it. He goes, nah, then there's a guy who should probably come in and just run it for you.
Mm-hmm.
This is a funny story. So some guy comes, he introduced me to some guy. We're at Mr. Chow's in LA.
All right.
And it's me, the guy who he wants me to hire. I told you about my man Combe, but what I didn't tell you about Combe earlier was he was also the European kickboxing champion.
Okay.
So, and a marksman. So I didn't know if he was really a spy.
That's what it sounds like.
No, I'm just being honest.
Ultimate kickboxer.
Right. But, and didn't really speak English. So we're at Mr. Chow's in LA, and you're the producer that they want me to hire. I'm me. And Sean Penn pushes me away to say, hey, are you still a fucking asshole? Not to me, to
The producer guy.
the producer guy.
To the kickboxer?
No, not to the kickboxer.
Yeah.
About to say.
But I'm getting pissed that I don't give a fuck that he calls the call. I was pissed that he pushed me the fuck away.
Right, yeah.
Like, you're a rude mother. So me and Cole made eye contact, and I was like, nah, right? So, and I had my security out in front. So they called my security in. Words are going back and forth. I was like, who the fuck are you to if he's a fucking asshole, I want to know why.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get into why. Right. So everything is whatever. And then he says something to Combe, and I was like, that's the wrong thing.
Yeah.
That's and we literally had to just hold Combe back. The place would have been just blown up in 2 fucking seconds. So I'm going to London 3 days later. So I go to my brother who was going to run it for me. I said, find out what this producer I just for Sean Penn to do this.
Yeah, that was extra.
I'm closing a red flag. We go to London, and the day of we leave to London that night, but that day there was a meeting, I guess, at Miramax, and they said you'll have a contract by the time. I'm like, there's no fucking way. And next thing you know, there's
Type of turnaround time, right?
right.
Like-
But we land. We get to the hotel. There's a contract for a 3-picture deal.
Wow.
So the first picture, Brett Ratner gives me paid in full. This came from Dane.
Yeah.
So I read it. I was like, wow, I know the story. And I was like, Jonathan, bring this up there and bring Dane. And I actually, out of my better judgment, I did hire the asshole. And at that time, you know, Dane was Dame, and it was like,
Yeah, Dame was definitely Dame.
Dane, you know, and it was like, do you really want to be executive producer? I was like, no, not really.
Right.
He goes, because, you know, this is like my culture, I was like, Dane, this, like, who named you
Right.
head of the culture?
Yeah.
But, like, I have no problem taking my name off it, as long as it says
Right.
loud
Yep.
at the end. This is a loud film, period, at the end.
Yep.
And if you look at the titles, that's
Yep.
And
what it says.
And I'm slow because I definitely didn't put that together. Like Steve names office, but it is loud. You go on, you could Google that.
and once again, I mean, I grew up in Harlem, you know, and these stories I was hearing when I was
Yeah.
a little kid, well before, and you know, me seeing a movie. Hassan, you was in the movie, you was an
Right,
actor in the movie. It was fascinating to me because I'm not gonna lie. It seemed like a lot of the parts of the movie, you know how you do fictitious stuff, but it just seemed like it correlated to the stories I was hearing when I was a young kid.
I got to be honest.
I read the script. It was solid. It was a solid script.
Dame did an amazing job.
Yes,
and
he
the guy
did.
and the guy who directed, you know, he
Chuck
was,
Stone.
He was doing the What's Up commercials.
Yeah.
with the beer.
With Budweiser.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Chuck
So
Stone.
I mean, they really did an amazing job.
And that was your first cinema project you was part of at the company. I mean, you did all the music, you had all the greats.
And then there was another one. Was a documentary about basketball, Soul in the Hole.
Soul in the Hole.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Another
It's
movie.
Sonya is in Soul in the Hole, right? Sonya son.
I think that was her movie. I think she brought it to me.
Yeah. Sonya from, you know, The Wire with me. Shout out to Sonya. What up, baby?
With a dope soundtrack.
Yeah.
Did you
The Wu Wallstar. That record, the Soul in the Hole, Wu
With
Wallstar.
Keitha. Yeah. Keitha went off
boy
on that.
Freddy Krueger,
Yeah,
Timbo
yeah,
King,
yeah,
you know,
video was tough.
those are my guys,
Yeah,
man.
that was tough.
I mean, once again, Steve, these projects, I don't know if you could say luck or whatever like that, but it just all sounds like, if you look at your career, it just sounds like it was like great choices, and you just
You got to put. I'll definitely take luck. I'd rather be lucky than good any day of the week.
Yeah,
I'll take
right.
that
I
too.
heard that, man. Because I mean, it makes sense. Like as far as like, especially with Paid in Full, like you said, Dave did an excellent. He brought it into fruition. He fought for the integrity and the authenticity.
But he fought too much.
He did. No.
So-
he cursed
so-
out the Weinstein.
Well, I'm going to tell you the story. I get a phone call from Harvey.
Yep. Yeah. I know it.
He goes, I'm going to put you in 200 theaters. Or I'm going to put you in 5,000 theaters.
Yeah. Okay.
But your man has to be quiet. He goes,
Man gotta be quiet.
he goes, I'm sending you a plane. Me a plane. I'm in LA.
Right.
The meeting's in New York. He sends me a plane. Come to New York. I go to Dame. We're playing ping pong, and he was a big ping pong guy. We're playing ping pong. I said, Dame, don't say a word and just yes him to death, and we'll be in 5,000 theaters. Or 25, whatever the most
Don't
crazy.
say nothing.
Don't say anything.
No, that's it. Nobody gets in that. I know what you're talking about. Like that 5,000 theaters. Yeah. That
Right? So the movie's testing through the roof, however they tested. I don't know right?
Right.
And this was like the first, so I said, Dane, seriously, just yes him and we'll do whatever we have to do outside. We're not in the meeting for 5 fucking minutes.
Oh.
He gets up, you're ruining my fucking culture. And I was just like, who named
Who
you,
made you
the
again?
king of the culture?
Oh, damn.
So we ended up in 200 theaters.
Yeah.
And
Instead of
300.
5,000.
That's what happened.
And listen, I'm not gonna be on here and
He cursed him out at the premiere.
He cursed him out there right then, and he kicked us out. And
Yeah, Eric. I was embarrassed. I'm sitting there. I'm just doing the home and the bushes. I'm doing this shit.
and I guarantee you, and I guarantee you this, and I learned if Dame was Dame today, he would have listened.
Yep.
Right, and it just comes with maturity. We were all.
It is what it is.
I mean, I'm a lot older than Dane. Dane was, has been screaming at me since he's 16 years old, when he was managing Original Flavor.
Skiing though.
Yeah. So, you live, you learn, you laugh, you cry, but
Some of the best memories.
It's a great
made,
project.
though. Yeah,
It's a great project.
Great.
Man.
amazing.
I mean,
So I know a tidbit out of the film that probably some folks, because I auditioned for Mitch. I was probably a hard runner up, but then they cast Makai, which made all the
the
sense.
great Makai fight for
I mean, he's
everybody.
from Harlem. He's from Harlem. Looked like Rich, right? Perfect match. I wasn't upset with that, but then they called back because they had reshoots. And it was like this 1 or 2 days in Harlem. Chuck called me, said, Haas, I got something for you real quick. So it's the scene after Makai confronts one of his workers about getting robbed. And was like, yo, I'm gonna send you to Queens or some shit. Yo, go get that man, find where that man at, or you gonna be working in Queens.
Yeah,
Some
remember
funny
that.
shit like
remember
that,
that
right?
part. Yeah.
So the next scene is me, my homeboy Tobias Trevelyan, shout out Tobias, and Makai, Mitch, in the car going to do the hit. But a lot of people don't know who we went to hit was Jamie Hector, aka Marlo from The Wire. He was the kid who robbed Makai. So when we shot him up, and then you know what I really remember about that? Because Jamie could have shut the set down. The squibs went off and burnt his neck. He caught like a first degree burn, like
From the blood, the
yeah,
blood
the
thing,
blood pack.
the blood pack.
Yeah, like they must have charged it too much because you could go full, you could go low, you could go mid range. They went in, they wanted to really put the effect, and something's telling me Dame was over there in the village over there, like telling them, yeah, put it on full charge. We selling this shit.
Like one of my best friends, one of my best friends, Kev Carroll, was in that movie.
Yeah, Kev's a beast. Kev's a beast. He brought that whole shit together. Yo, your man Kermit over here. He called him Kermit the Frog, right? Yo.
Because of the glasses.
Yeah, with the glass.
It was a fascinating movie. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing else like a. I mean, just my childhood, just all that stuff was going on, and
that was for the book.
another one stuck to me.
Yeah.
Were there any more films, notable stay that, or you just left the film because you didn't want to do it anyway?
No, I mean,
Well, that was a good one then.
Yeah, like it seems like it's certain projects or like the record label you didn't want to do it. You didn't want to get in the film. What was that? Just the reluctancy?
nah, I mean, I love music. I always say music is the closest thing to God, but my first love is really basketball. Like that's real. I mean, the money that I've lost in basketball, I'm buying companies, I'm doing everything.
It's just from like it's just gambling.
No, not no. I don't
Oh,
care.
okay.
No, like buying companies. It was like when me and my wife split, and she moved to Florida. And if you go 4 miles north, you're in the worst ghetto of all of Florida. And my kids are interracial, but my oldest son came out blonde hair, blue eyes. And she put him in this. I didn't know what AAU was. There was an AAU when I was a kid.
Right.
Right? So she puts him in this AAU tournament, and she won't let me watch him play either.
Wow.
Like they have to respect him for who he is, not for who his dad is. And I gave it that. So finally, she calls me one day. She goes, "I'm going to Chicago for the weekend. You got to pick him up. The game will be over at 2:30." So I sneak into the gym at 12.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right? Not knowing that there are 3 games that day with AAU.
Yeah. They run them.
Now, so he was 11 at the time, and he's playing on a 14 under team. Not because he was so good, was the only money that the program could afford. So they don't win a game, but and they're getting their ass wiped all through the state of Florida, and then there's no more games. And I was like, wait a second, coach, I finally got my son back in my life. There has to be another tournament somewhere.
Some gotta get
He goes, there's a 12-year-old tournament next week. I'm like, all right, cool. How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? So I get 7 guys. He says, who will coach? I said, I will. He goes, what do you know about basketball? I said, at that age, and these are all football players beside my son,
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to press and I'm going to shoot. And that's all it is.
And Steve, that's kind of sort of how I got into coaching as well, as far as the AAU. Now I played in AAU. AAU was integral because it's like AAU, for everybody don't know, it's regional basketball, all the best of the best from
The
the
best
region,
of the best, yeah.
right? And a lot of times they come together nationally and they have these tournaments. And with that, you know, you have a lot of college coaches that want to recruit and scout. So AAU was very important in my life, you know, because it got me exposure. You
Yes,
know,
sir. Yes,
talk about
sir.
Top 50 player in high school, whatever. Yeah, that's neither here nor there. But it's great for like the exposure of these kids who are serious.
Yeah, with the skill set. Yeah.
But just starting out, like, you know, that's what happened. Like, I had a guy who, you know, he was having trouble with the team. He had like 7 or 8 guys. He said, you know, would you want? I didn't even want to coach. He said, would you do it? And I never was going to coach. But when I did it, I kind of enjoyed it.
See?
And now here we are all these years later.
See?
So
Yeah, so we win the tournament and we make it to go to nationals, whatever in Orlando, whatever the fuck the
Right.
shit was, right? And we win. That's
great.
I'm with that. I go 22-0.
22.
like-
Oh,
it's like-
undefeated.
Wait
it's like a fix, though.
But this is all in like a 3-week period.
Right.
I think I'm Phil Jackson now.
So now this is what
Told you
like
it's a fix.
so listen, this is this like not ragtag, but you took these misfits more or less. You
They weren't missed. They were incredible
Yeah,
athletes.
right. Okay, my bad.
So, but they were playing up because that's what the coach.
Playing up means playing age group you under.
No, they were playing 2 years old.
2 years on, 2 years
You
under.
said it was the 12-year-old, but they were 14.
14.
Yeah.
And they were not that they you know they were good, but they weren't good.
Yeah.
So we go 22-0. Now I'm talking shit. So I go to one of the. I'm like, find something in Atlanta, like, and next thing you know, we don't lose a game for a year and a half. I go literally like 60-0,
Wow.
and I'm like, I'm
I
putting.
know how you feel. It's a fix.
No,
Definitely
I'm
thought
putting,
he
I'm
was
putting
Phil Jack.
I'm putting them on private planes. We're going to Chicago, Atlanta, putting them in the
And they
postseason.
playing with
So
Steve Rifkind, so they lucky.
Yeah,
right.
come on.
So now I get a phone call from somebody. Would you be interested in buying a tournament? And the first thing I realized, I go, a tournament is a music convention, but it's for kids, right? And the money, I'm like, how much? He goes, well, there's five tournaments. So it was the main event, which was in Vegas, the Kingwood Classic, which was in Houston, the Easter Classic, which was in Houston, and 2 other small ones.
All right.
And I buy it. Now, I'm like, who the fuck is going to run it?
That's another issue.
So, not the head coach or the guy who runs the program that I'm sponsoring now, but one of his guys says, I'll run it. And, you know, at that time, Akon is triple, quadruple platinum. Like,
right.
so, and you know, I'm going through a divorce and I'm just trying to figure out, like, what am I going to put my focus? I buy the building and I put an office in the gym where they practice.
Unbelievable.
And so you know, I'm bringing this guy. I'm bringing everybody. Like, every time I'm in LA,
Yeah.
I'm bringing them with me. Like, they're flying private, first class. Like, it's all hell breaks loose. We buy the company. We have our first tournament. I lose my shirt. Right?
Lose your shirt, like, what do you mean by that?
They didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Oh,
Okay, but this wasn't.
like losing money and losing.
Yeah, but
resources.
I didn't even give a fuck at that time. Like, because the big one was in July, the main event, where it was open, whatever, you know, for the coaches, everything else like this. So this motherfucker doesn't fill out the forms right. For permit. No, I should have just gave it to one of my lawyers to handle. But I like, my mind was just like, I was going 200 miles an hour. So the $5 million I spent to buy the company was gone in August.
I hate that, especially when it comes to like basketball. I hate.
Wait, I got another one.
Because he had a run. He was running.
No, that was just cool. That was just fun for me. But I was looking at, like, I didn't want to represent these kids. My whole life in general is, man, if I could save one person, I did God's work, and that's what I truly right. So this, I don't know if it was before or after, but it was before. 1996, I get a phone call that 5-star basketball campus for sale. So I buy 5-star.
I didn't even know that, man.
See?
So
That's crazy.
I buy 5-star, and I keep Goff around to just run it. And I have Tommy Hilfiger sponsor the jerseys,
Uh-huh.
everything else like that. But my goal was to take it to Europe. And I was going to make a deal with Mercedes in Germany, so-and-so in France, so-and-so in London. And I had a business plan that I was going to net $5 million a country
Wow.
just from sponsorship.
Wow.
And this was 1996. Wait, so in the process, I'm also selling my marketing company to a company called Dinner Public.
This is SRC, right?
This is SRC. So I had a report to a London guy. So, and I think it was called the Octagon. There was a sports agency out of DC that Interpublic just bought. So I thought I was going to have to report to the guy who ran Octagon. They said, no, you got to report to Frank Lowe. Frank Lowe was a London guy. And he goes, meet me in Paris. So I'm like, all right. I meet him in Paris. He's whatever. I'm Steve Rifkind. I'm chasing this motherfucker around. Like, this is the craziest fucking thing. So I find out what flight he's on back to London. No exaggeration. Stand up for a second. He's sitting here and there's a fucking puppet in this fucking seat. And I take the puppet and I put it up in the fucking thing. And so I could sit there. So I got to get this deal done so he could just sign off on it. Right? So he goes, hey, Steve, how you doing? What are you doing here? I said, it's the only way I could get fucking time with you. He goes, where's Mikey? I'm like, I don't know who Mikey is. Mikey, there was a puppet. He was sitting right there.
No, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
I said, Frank, I put him up. He goes, no. He's my good luck charm, and he sits with me wherever I go.
Holy shit.
And I said, you're a fucking piece of shit. Give me my...
So he paying for extra flight seats for Mikey?
No, he's probably he probably expensed the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Right? Wait a second. No,
Mikey is the puppet?
Mikey's the puppet. I fly to London, to New York, without an appointment, to the chairman, let him rest in peace, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in your life. A guy by the name of Les Delano. I said, get me the fuck out of here.
Fast.
He goes, what? He goes, oh, I forgot to tell you about that. So I said, I can't report to him. I said, Les, look at this.
That's crazy.
We're talking about $15 million profit.
Yeah.
And not taking anything away from the kids.
Yeah.
I go, fuck you, fuck him, give me my company back.
And before we go further, like, for y'all don't know, 5-Star Basketball Campus was one of the most prestigious basketball camps that there ever was. I participated, Adrian Autry and others.
So
it was a great.
So I go up there. So I go up there for a weekend. Not a weekend, like 2 days.
Right.
And I was now I'm Steve Rifkind, right?
Yeah.
Right? I got drivers, security, planes, this, that, whatever. I'm staying in a fucking bunk with no fucking air conditioner
Exactly.
for 2 days, eating pizza, right? And Pitino was the guest speaker that day. And he's drawing up plays. And I went to eat dinner, and there's like all the coaches there. Pitino was there, Hubie Brown was there, some famous college coaches. And I'll tell you who the star of the camp was, Dion Wagner.
Yep. So I'm putting that at, that's like late 90s. Yep.
96. What?
Mid to late 90s, yes.
He went to Memphis.
Played at Cleveland. He was a phenom.
Yeah. So, and I'm just sitting, like, I leave. I said, Dad, let's go back. And I had my dad with me. I said, let's go back to LA. And for 5 hours to LA, I'm in his ear for the first time. Fuck the music business. Fuck everything. This is what I'm going to do.
That passion is
right. And he goes, you are the dumbest motherfucker again. I said, and then
we had I listened the first time.
Steven was the first one. SRC essentially really had Lamar.
Is Lamar older? Lamar older.
I wrote to the Magic Show. We called him SRC with Big Finn, rest in peace, Big Finn, and Frank Boone probably with us too, trailing Lamar in his Clipper warm-up jersey went to the In-N-Out in Barstow, halfway between LA and Vegas.
Wow, yeah.
We got this audio?
Off the 15.
All right.
I might have stopped at the In-N-Out. That might be the best fucking In-N-Out on the law.
I knew Lamar was a New York legend. right? But in Barstow, they didn't know.
Yeah.
They just saw with the clip.
Yeah.
The workers in and out were having them sign their paper in and out hats.
Well, because he went to UNLV, but this is the most classic story, and then we got to end it.
Yeah.
But this is the most classic. I'm selling Lab, right? January 29th. We have to close on June 29th. We have to close June 30th because the new fiscal year for Sony is July 1st. We're selling Lab.
It's 99.
This is 99. So I get a phone call from Billy. He goes, Lamar's not going to the draft unless you're here. I said, Billy, you got to fucking work this out. I said, I'm signing my comment. All these due diligence shit, like I got to fucking,
Fact.
right? And he's calling every hour. He's not going. And and he's projected to go top 5. We didn't know it was going to be number 4 with the Clippers.
Uh-huh.
So I said, let me call my lawyer. Because I've never been to the draft either. So I said, do I need to sign everything? Can Jonathan, my brother, like not forge my signature? He's an owner in the company. Can he sign something? He goes, yes, right? But he goes, Steven, you got to be back by like 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's like closing. I'm like, all right. So I said, do you think Tommy will let me have the plane, which is the Sony plane? He goes, in the deal, I get it. And I said, I'm not even going to ask. I chartered first time I ever chartered a plane.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wearing a Sean John dark blue navy velour sweater, not knowing you have to wear a suit in that fucking green room. So I'm just sitting there. I get Lamar there, and I'm sitting there watching. And Elton Brand was like a brother to me.
No doubt. Great Elton Brand
is the first draft choice.
Yep.
Gets up. Falk wants to hug him, and he walks past Falk, and he walks straight to me. I don't know Elton. He goes, man, if I knew you were going to be in this business, I would have went with you. That's like, congrats. Yeah. Wait, but Falk comes to me, and he wants to fight me. He goes, who the fuck are you? And I'm like,
getting territorial.
Man, I'm just here to watch Lamar and get the fuck out of here. He goes, and why are you dressed like this? And I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here. He goes, well, why are you poaching? I'm not poaching anybody. Like, leave me the fuck alone, right? And I in those days, I had a driver named Ponytail Jeff.
I can only imagine.
So Ponytail Jeff, as you know, had a ponytail, but he was tatted
to the neck
from
jawline
down.
Yeah.
So between him and Combe and the real security, if I went like this, the place, right?
Yeah.
And Combe wasn't with me, but Jeff was. Security was outside, but Jeff was inside with me. And Jeff is ready to now just fucking destroy the whole club. The whole green room. It was in D.C. And I was like, yo, you're barking up the wrong tree. Congrats. I don't know why he came up. I don't even know the guy. Right? And now me and I'm close. But it was the funniest thing in the world. And
that's
and
crazy.
it's like all eyes on me.
Yeah,
like everybody's looking at me.
Exactly.
I'm not wearing a suit, but I'm wearing a sweatsuit. A velour Sean
Johnson.
Yeah. Damn, Steve, man.
The incomparable Steve Rifkind.
Steve done touched so much, man. Music, hip hop business.
Yeah.
Film,
Yeah.
basketball, youth basketball. Amazing. But before we get out of here, and peace and respect to Lamar Odom and Elton Brand, two of my guys, New York City greats.
Yep, shout out.
I just want to get you guys' outlook. First, talking about a little bit about the Knicks, which I know you guys at the games.
Please.
Talk a little bit about the Knicks, my Knicks, our Knicks.
All right, everybody's going to think I'm crazy. What I'm going to say is the only way they're going to win is they got to get rid of Brunson.
Hey, Steve.
I didn't see that one coming.
I've heard that before. I've heard those things.
He's a poor man's James Harden.
But for me, we were in those so long. You could come because you at the games. The Brunson is a dynamo to me.
Actually, you know what? You got to get rid of the father. To be honest,
the turnaround. Hey, listen, I was at the game the other night. Big Dog Brunson gave me a pound. I was feeling that. But hey, listen, I guess it's objective, right? Because
you don't
this
think
is the last
too much? He dribbles too fucking much.
I think he did it before because he had to, in a way. But he's a dynamo to me.
You got to get rid of the fucking father.
Big body Brunson. I'm not there with it yet. Now I got my eyes peeled. You raised the eyebrow.
I like Rick Brunson, by the way, but
I love him. But Steve raised the eyebrow now that I'm gonna have to monitor. That's my dogs. I love.
I mean, why would you want to coach your 28-year-old son?
I mean,
and then start a fight with the or not whatever that bullshit was. It's like, man, coach another fucking team, be another coach.
my
Like,
predictions, they get to the finals this year.
they're not getting to the finals.
Yo, Rule. Yo, Rule.
No.
I was championship. I was there against the Lakers.
I was one.
The Lakers. I was in LA.
I won a championship. I won a championship.
My dad worked with Earl Monroe. So
That's
Then
big
you
time.
was in LA.
I was at the Forum.
First of all, if they win, would you be at the parade with me and Rube and others? Would you go?
Yeah, of course.
I don't think Steve. Steve ain't a hater.
Steve got to go with us.
Nah, Steve ain't a hater now.
I've broken my hand because of these fucking Knicks.
Yeah, he's like, he put the shit. We don't know.
Right? I just think
But if they
Brunson
win,
should not. Listen, I hope so. I just think,
can we go to the parade together?
yeah,
They
if you
win
want,
the
yeah,
championship.
100%.
You already here,
that's-
guys. Steve Rifkind.
Wu-Tang Don't.
Yeah.
I got mine signed too. I got
Steve, you know,
Master Killer and Jizza.
I respect that because, you know, different perspective. And I've heard people say that. Just me personally from watching us for the last 45 years.
I ain't hear that one though yet. I didn't hear that one yet.
Hear what?
They had this
That they
kid-
gotta get that
no,
shit
no,
right
no,
this
no,
month.
but no, not the father,
Oh,
but this.
okay.
I've heard people say like because Jalen Brunson they dribble too much. I just felt, you know, I love Tom Thibodeau too, but the style of play is going to be a little different.
So what do you think of this coach? I don't think this is the right coach either.
Well,
Me either.
we gotta-
Mike Brown
we gotta
never
get- yeah,
shaky.
we gotta go- yeah.
I got you on that.
we got to get Mike a year.
No. I'm with Steve on that now.
Mark Jackson.
That's shaky dog.
Bro, you touching the
That's
subject
a
right
little
there. Mark
shaky dog.
Jackson. is-
Mark's my man. I
Mark
love
Jackson's
I
my
love him
heart.
like a
He's
like.
my heart.
So to me, he should have had an opportunity. He's
course.
New York. He was rookie of the year. He was all this.
Oh, we can talk. That's a whole nother.
And hopefully Mark
episode.
Jackson will be on the show. we get to talk about that.
We can talk
That's
about
one
how they
thing.
don't want to give him credit for the.
But no, I feel you on that.
No, they can
Of course.
I don't be catching up.
He's my heart. Mark Jackson, my heart. And every time for the last 10 years, a coaching job comes up, I'm thinking it's going to happen. And then this year, I'm thinking this is going to be the
Listen,
time.
Mike Brown's a nice guy. I've spoken to him a million times, right?
But they got to get to the finals.
Shaky dog. I'm with you on that one,
Steve, give us
I'm
some
with
year.
you
Give
on
us-
that
give
one.
us this year.
Got it.
tell Brunson not to dribble the ball
Give
that
us
much.
this year. Be patient. We're going to have a great time. The New York Knicks fans. It's going to be a great year.
You two be patient. I'm asking.
St. John's. Let's talk about St. John's, the other New York basketball team.
Well, yeah, let's pull up.
I want us to
You
all go.
already know.
All right.
That's my
From St.
school.
John's, my favorite city.
Patino, listen.
My favorite.
Patino
Pitino.
is one of my favorite coaches in the world.
Talk about
That's how I coached my team.
Talk about
Run and gun and just, there was a book that Hubie Brown wrote when he was coaching the NBA. And it wasn't about, it's about shooting the three.
Mm-hmm.
And Pitino in college changed the whole game
Yes, it
around
did.
with his pressing and getting up as many threes as possible.
Yo, Haas, I'm at practices and I get to hear the philosophies. I get to see everything. I'm well in throw
Got the cheat sheet.
and it's I coach, so
Yeah.
I'm there absorbing everything. You
Yeah.
know, he's like the best. He recruited me when he was at Kentucky too.
Okay.
But he's a master, and
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this year. But
Yeah.
high hopes for St. John's too. So that's two New York teams.
But they have some dogs. I mean they're beasts.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's
You
gonna
know,
be
I'm old school. What you call it? My
I
man
mean,
was Jim Jack, right?
Jimmy Jackson.
Jim Jack. That was my.
He went to Cincinnati though.
Ohio State.
Ohio
Oh, no, that was Ohio State. I always get the colors.
I
mixed
see him
up.
at the games.
I always get the colors mixed up. That's
But,
a fact.
Yeah.
And then we gotta root for
So my second favorite college basketball team, real quick, Syracuse Orangemen, who me and Rue, we got affection for, and our family member, we ain't gonna talk about that. Syracuse, we definitely amped for them to have a great season. I'm glad they're in the ACC now, but
True.
hopefully we're gonna be at some of those games. They got a tournament, St. John's, and Syracuse gonna be in Vegas,
I'm gonna be in
so
there.
we'll be in
Yeah.
Vegas.
Okay,
as
that's
well.
gonna be slick.
But
Okay.
I want to get both of y'all, Hassan Johnson, you got to come back and
For sure,
be in
for
the
sure.
chairs.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
know but we got this monument.
Nah,
right
come
here.
on, man. This was one for the books, man.
So we're gonna be
Had
at some
to do
games
it.
this year, Steve.
Had to do it.
We're gonna stay in touch and be at some games. But this has been a storm.
When do you guys play Connecticut?
February
At the Garden?
at the Garden. You want to go to that game?
Yeah.
Ah,
Steve Rifkind will
we
be going
have
with
it.
us to the Connecticut game at the Garden. Everybody,
right.
I make sure
You
that.
heard it first.
Hassan, we gonna get you at the game.
I got one other basketball question. The girls coach for Connecticut.
Yes.
Do you think he could have coached men's?
You know, all young.
You know what? I'm gonna say yes.
I agree with you.
He's no nonsense, and I don't think he will hold punches. Some guys probably be a little bit more sensitive than maybe some of the ladies, because he.
Let me ask you a question. When you heard the Knicks were interviewing Dawn
Don Staley.
Staley, yeah.
I thought that would have been a great.
I didn't think
I wasn't mad at it. I wasn't not mad at
basketball
it.
knows.
It's still X's and O's.
Yeah, basketball
Yeah,
knows no
yeah.
gender, no race.
I'm about to say
That's
it's
the
hit or
beautiful
miss,
part about
man.
it. But yo, it's been a blast. This whole thing has been monumental. I'm in heaven right now, being with you, Haas.
Nah,
you know, I know we didn't
likewise.
go into your stuff.
Nah,
but
nah. It's
You've been
all
a
good. We with the
terrific
great
guest
right
host.
here.
It's been so much. The great Hassan Johnson, the actor. We looking forward for many more things. And Steve Rifkind, the monument, the most.
The man.
I mean,
Hey,
take
listen.
the pattern of
We changed. He changed
hip hop culture, music culture.
the '90s. You are the '90s.
And-
That's all. I mean, if you all right with that.
Yeah.
I'm
If
I mean,
you
I'm
all right
good.
with that.
I'm here, man.
I can't even believe
I
it.
shouldn't be here.
I don't know if I
December 24th, 2013, I died 3 times.
More than Steve
The
throughout
great
the
Steve
'90s.
Joining, being here at the Storm NYC. We got a lot of special guests. I talked about it. Stephen Espinosa's lovely wife. My man John is here. Our PA, Sophia. My man, pastor, director. Of course, the executive producer, Ruben Rivera. Does a great job with everything. And his son, Kai. He's going to be a star in the future.
I see you, Kai.
And, all I can say is that we are out. The Storm, NYC. My man, Fly Tie, that's for you.
Don't get up. Let me get a picture. You can give me a picture.
No, we're gonna get all that. We're gonna get all that.
okay.
Yeah. He
You
just
say less.
gotta. So we waiting on you, Patch.
Oh, all right. And cut.